What's up, guys? We're here at the Live Target booth. We're with Vic. He's going to be showing us some info about the saltwater swim baits.
So let's start with our scaled sardine. This is one of the most prevalent forages down in the waters of Florida area. Our swim baits are designed with an integral hook and weight system. It's a very durable soft plastic. It has a wide gap forged hook. It has a natural, all of our swim baits have a very natural profile. Predators kind of focus on profile first, and then we've got color patterns that match the forage exactly. The tail it's an oscillator tail that we designed, and the tail is unique to each swim bait. So each species has a species-specific action to it. So this is going to swim differently than the Menhaden and all of our other baits. You'll notice a little belly hook here. This is all integrated with the hook, the internal weight system, and the line tie. So for a little extra action and flash, you can add like a willow blade. The typical sink rate of all of our swim baits is about 1 to 1.5 feet per second. So you can time the fall of the bait, but you can increase the fall of the bait by simply adding a little weight. We don't recommend that you do that very often because it will affect the aggressiveness of the swim. Now, all of these baits are going to swim a little bit different than a bait with a paddle tail. It's a natural swimming action, so it's not going to be really aggressive. It's going to be a naturally swimming scaled sardine or Menhaden through the water. These are very, very durable. As a soft plastic bait, you would think that, you know, how many bites am I going to get before I lose the tail? On average, this is one of my favorite baits, the scaled sardine. I fish this all the time, and I will average 30 to 40 fish on one of these. You'll notice there's a little dorsal fin, and that tends to protect the hook point. That's true on every one of our swim baits, no matter what species it's representing. And that's just a little deflection point so that any grass or debris in the water won't get hung up on the hook. We don't recommend that you cut it off. A lot of times these swim baits, because they're not really aggressive, fast-moving baits, you'll get short bites on them. And so the thinking process is that, well, it must be because they're not getting hooked up because of that dorsal fin. That is not the case. Cut it off, you affect the swimming of it a little bit, leave it on. If you have any short bites, you can add a Shaughnessy hook, hook it over the main hook, and let it be a little trailer, and you'll catch those short bites. But for the most part, just recast and get it out there, and you'll get your bite again. It's simple cast, and these are weighted so you can cast them really far, straight retrieve, and keep the rod tip down, and then set the hook. You're golden. Several different species for your region. We got the croaker, we got the mullet, scaled sardine, lots to choose of. There's 2 sizes and 2 colors. Typically a very natural color, and then an off color, such as in the scaled sardine, that will represent something in more tannic water as opposed to a clear water. Want to talk a little bit about the hard bait. We have shrimp. There's a lot of great products here for your region. We've got the fleeing shrimp, which is a custom jig bait. When you purchase that, there's an extra body. When you cast this thing out and let it sit, the skirt just kind of flows as if it's a standing shrimp on the bottom, kind of in defense mode. A rigged shrimp, it's a soft plastic weighted shrimp, a really strong forged hook, and you can put that under a popping cork. You can cast and just do a little bit of retrieve. Another one of my absolute favorite baits is the scaled sardine hard bait. It's a twitch bait, and this is a super bait. This is good for redfish, trout, snook. 2 sizes. It comes in a suspending version. Again, it's about 1 foot per second. Cast it out, let it get to the water area of the water column that you want, and then twitch, pause, mix it up, and you'll get bit every time. I use this as a searching bait. I never go anywhere without that scaled sardine hard bait. I cast it out when I'm trying to, in an area where I'm not sure, what I'm going to find. I'll cast that out, and once I get my bite, then I can start fine tuning, what I'm going to do. So one of the things that I want to touch on is Live Target. We our DNA is match the hatch. In fact, we own the trademark match the hatch. My origins are basically fly fishing, and so it was always a matter of, you know, you're going after a specific species. You need to know what the forage is. You want to replicate that as the closest fashion as possible. And it's no different here when you're using artificials in saltwater. A little bit about this bait, this Menhaden. For example, I was fishing over in the Stewart region. I'm typically from the west coast of Florida. We have Menhaden, but not to the numbers that is present over on the East Coast. And I fished with a good friend of mine and who fishes with live bait. And I saw the success of this 3-inch Menhaden in this exact color, not the typical colorations of a Menhaden. And in making this, the success that I had with the actual live bait that was this size and this color pattern, designed it and then went back and fished it, and it was incredible in terms of success. As a result, I call it the Stewart Menhaden. So. You know, that's what it's all about, right? Finding the right tool in the right pattern that's designed for that specific water after a specific predator species. Go after it, get it, you'll hook up.
Thank you, Vic, for all the information. If you
You're
guys want
welcome.
to check out any live target lures, make sure to stop by Crook and Crook.